Hi everybody, Ken Krushka here. Today I want to talk to you about typewriter cases. Now, unlike projectors, which I have on a shelf over there, they can be wiped down, they're metal, and then you can hit them with Armor All or whatever you want. Or even in the case of, if you had to repaint one, a projector, it turns out great. But again, it's metal. You tape off and you paint. A typewriter case, now there's many different ones, so I got a pile here, but some of them are covered with leather, some of them aren't, some of them are made out of wood. This one here is, I think this is for a Remington. I'm not sure on that, but to treat it, I've got this stuff called Miracle Clean, something my stepmom must have bought a case full of, but this stuff works pretty good. If you have mold or something that you're fighting, I've used ammonia. With something like a Samsonite metal case like the Smith Corona Electrics are in and the manuals, that you can just use good old Windex on. Turns out okay too, and then maybe hit it with Armor All after that if you wish. But when you're coming to a pile like this, so let's go through these. Again, this is the Smith Corona one. It's wooden. This has a leather skin on it. Now, the reason I'm wearing my leather jacket is so I can point out, though, that there was a shoe cobbler. This leather jacket used to look terrible. I mean, it looked terrible. And I bought this leather refinish Aid to Color Restore in black. And, if you do go to a shoe cobbler and get some, make sure you get a few of the application things. I went through and retreated this leather jacket, re-dyed the leather is what I did. Now, in the case of this jacket versus these typewriter cases, you'd need a case that's in better condition than mine are to try and re-dye them. But it could be done because leather can be re-dyed. But otherwise, you're just back to sprays and Armor Alls. And here I have some boot and shoe care. It's a leather cleans, polish, and protectant. I'm not using this on these leather cases, but leather treatment is leather treatment. And I've added handles to some where they've rotted off. Some cases have this is a Remington one. So some cases have spots in them for even putting your brush that you would brush the segments, the keys with, the key heads, typefaces. Well, come on. So that brush mounts in the case, or it's supposed to. There, like that. Not all cases have that, though. That's a neat little thing. And they're little rubber, that gets old, so you can always cut a new piece and glue it in there. Again, I promote E6000 because I love this stuff. I used to glue shoes together with it, so this one doesn't have that bracket. Oh yes, it does. It's up here in the front. I think that's where I got that brush from. Yeah, and that one. So some of them have it, some don't. It depends on the brand. This was wooden. The paper inside, the green paper that they stuck in was dead. But I was able to re-glue in the pieces that were there. They were just, not held by nothing other than that paper going over. And then I used some wood stain on the bare wood. It protects it. I don't care that it's open any. And I've added a handle, added a rivet through an eyelet, through a piece of, like felt cloth or whatever that is that I made. So I made a handle for that one. Pretty common with these old ones that the handles go dead. Again, we have a Royal here. Same thing, wooden. This one does not have a holder in it for any brush, but it had a different latch system than the almost looks like the same latch system as the Remingtons had. Wouldn't be too big a surprised. Little taller though, height than that. You can see that. Alright. And then we get into another Smith Corona case. This one's in really good shape. I think this was for my silent. They had that, yeah, that's in really good shape. They had that carbon fiber-ish looking inside in there. That's probably one of my best cases right there. And the handles, you know, that's the one I took a handle off and put it back on, that Bakelite handle. I didn't trust it, but then I decided I didn't trust what I put on even more, so I went back to the Bakelite. Now, this is for a Skywriter, and this is leather, and this one it was just disgusting, and I cleaned it with that Miracle Clean, and that stuff, that worked wonders. It brought it out. I mean, picture this all dirty and nasty, you know, it just got rid of that gunk, and then you can wipe over it with whatever you want to protect it with. That went really well. And I also lightly oiled the zipper around it because, you know, it should be at this stage in its life, adding that oil could only help it. That Skywriter case, they called it something. I can't remember what they called it now. It was some special name though for it. I don't know if it was a sales gimmick to call it that. You could take it on vacation. It had a pocket in there for your paper and all that. Nice case. I really dig this one. And you know, with Royals, the Futura 800s and stuff, they got this leather case. This cleans up great. If it was a, not that it's not portable. I mean, that was an aluminum body and heavy, but they made them in this kind of a case if that carriage advance arm folded down, you know, in its case for storage, then you got a case like this. I don't like this case at all. That was for a parts typewriter I got, but this case I dig a lot. And you know, Royals got their little latch system and stuff. One of them, this must have been the worst of the, oh yeah, they come apart like that. They got the little pins. Nothing uncommon. I think one of them's bent here. Sure. There we go. So I got two of them. Yeah, I haven't had to do anything with that. We're like on the wooden, like gluing, I mean, and stuff. Where like the wooden cases, you have to get some glue out and glue down the leather over it. It's going to keep peeling off and all that. So, but if you're going to not reskin the thing, you're going to have to end up at some point getting out the glue and gluing it back down here or there. That's a Smith Corona. Again, put a handle on. Oil all the latches and stuff. They're going to need oil. You probably don't have a key, not a big deal, but get some oil in all those latches. You're going to wish you had if you didn't. Here we have another one of those lid type. What these are is like a top half of a case. The bottom half was actually attached to those typewriters, the Remington 1s, 2s, the Royal P's and O's, portable stuff. But these were just covers that attached, but the typewriters were mounted to the bottom wood plate. There was no little latch to detach them. You'd have to unbolt them if you wanted to. And then what you're doing is making your typewriter useless because those were carriage shift, and the brackets underneath those need to be up. There's little space washers, rubber pieces, whatever, plastic, to get that body of that typewriter off that board that it's mounted to, because that carriage underneath those brackets make the carriage lift, because it's a carriage shift thing. If you took it off of there and threw it on the table and thought you were going to type, you'd think your typewriter was broken, and it wasn't. And again, we have another, this one's in terrible looking condition, but functionality-wise, better than not having one. And it's metal, so if something's bent, you can always bend it back. So I don't care that it looks like dog doo-doo. It protects the typewriter inside, and that's what counts. Like I said, not having one, what would your typewriter look like then? So that's just been a quick review of typewriter cases. You know, you guys treat them how you want, but they'll pile up on you. Take care, everybody.